Hello and welcome to this tutorial for the board game Meadow. It's a fun game, but I've got quite a few things to explain, so let's get right to it. Here's how you play it. Depending on how many players there are, you are going to play 6 to 8 rounds and then the game is over. Whoever has the most points wins the game. You get all the points that are written on the cards in front of you in your own area, and points for these tokens in your own color that you place there during the game. The points are written on the cards and on the tokens. So again, you are going to play for 6 to 8 rounds and then the game ends. If you have the most points, you are the winner. First, I'll explain what a round is. That's easy. Each player has a few of these pointy player tokens in their own color. When it's your turn, you use one of these. When all the players have used up all their player tokens, the round is over. Take back all your player tokens. Pass the first player token to the player on the left. Move this round marker one space toward the forward on the round track and start the next round. Now, how do you play the game? What do you do when it's your turn? As I've already said, when it's your turn, you must use one of your own player tokens. You can choose which one you want to use. Then, you can either place it in one of the spaces on this board to take a card and then play a card, or you can stick the other side into this board to do a special action and maybe place one of your own point tokens on this board. In short, when it's your turn, you put your player token here or here. That's all. Let me elaborate. What happens when you put it here in this board with the cards? For example, I take this token with the number 2 on it, and I place it here. That means I can take the card that is 2 spaces from where I am. So, 1, 2, this card. I can take this into my hand. If I had placed my player token here, I could have taken this card. 1, 2. I take the second card because I chose the token with the number 2 on it. If you use the token with the number 3 on it, you pick the third card. 1, 2, 3. This one. That is what the numbers mean. If you are with less than 4 players, you can also use this player token with the question mark. That means you can choose your own number. Also, as soon as you take a card from the board, you immediately put a new card on the empty space. And you do that from the correct deck. The arrows on the board show you which goes with which. And after you've taken a card from the board, you can play one card from your hand in your own area in front of you. This is what's called your meadow area, and just above that is your own landscape area. Here you put the cards that are in an upright portrait, like this, and in your landscape area you place the cards that are depicted like this. How you play those cards, I'll explain in a moment. But again, when it's your turn and you choose to put one of your player tokens on this board, you take a card into your hand and then you can play a card in your own area in front of you. When you choose to place your token on this other board instead, you do something differently, of course. Like I said, you can do a special action and maybe place one of your own point tokens on the board. First, what are the special actions? It's the thing that is depicted on the player token that you put there. Here, this other bit on your token. This action means you can take any card you want from the board, put it into your hand, and that's it. You can't play a card. If you use this token, the special action is that you can take 2 of these little boards and keep them with you. You can use them later. The special action on this token is that you can play 2 cards from your hand. And finally, the special action on this one. Choose one of the 3 decks on this board, take the top 3 cards, you can keep 1, and place the other 2 on the bottom. Let me quickly repeat that. When you place this token here, you can take any card you want from the board. This one says you can take 2 of these little boards. Place this one to play 2 cards from your hand, or this one to take 3 cards from one deck. Keep 1 and return the other 2. If you are playing with less than 4 players, you can also use this player token with a question mark. That means you can choose which special action you want to do. And you might remember this. After you've done the special action, you can maybe place one of your point tokens on this board. I can tell you how that goes now. If you look at this board, you can see there are these small icons. These icons are also on all the cards. Now, if you look at your own area in front of you, so all the cards that you have placed open in front of you, you can see some of those big icons. Only the big ones, not the smaller ones. On this board, for example, these 2 are next to each other, the bird and the flower. If I look at my own area, I can see I have a bird and a flower. I've got these 2 big icons in my meadow area. In that case, I take my lowest point token, the number 2, and I can place that right here on the board between the bird and the flower. So now I have 2 extra points at the end of the game. And no other player is allowed to put a token between the bird and the flower. So in short, after you've done the special action, you can put your points here if you happen to have 2 icons that are next to each other on this board. And again, when it's your turn, place your token here to take a card and play a card, or place your token here to do the special action and maybe place your point token in between 2 icons. Well, there's one more thing. In case you can't do any of these or you don't want to do any of these 2 things, you always have the option to take your player token and place it on one of the benches, these ones. In that case, all you can do is play 1 card. That's all. Put your token here to play 1 card. Now, the last thing to explain. How do you play cards? What do you have to do? I'll explain the main rules first and then give you some details. You already know that the upright portrait cards go down here and the laid out landscape cards go above them. It's actually quite easy. If you want to play a card from your hand, you have to pay the price. The price is on the card under the big icon. These smaller icons are the price you have to pay to place this card open in front of you. In this case, this card costs 1 beetle and 1 bird. But how do I play? There are no money tokens in this game. I look at my own area. Do I see a big icon of a bird? Yes, this one. Do I see a big icon of a beetle? Yes, right here. So I have a bird and a beetle in my own area. That means I can place this card. And I have to place it on top of the bird or the beetle. I choose the bird. I place it like this so I can still see the points. But the bird is gone. Now I don't have that bird icon anymore. But I did gain this icon instead. And that's it. This is how you play cards from your hand. If you can see the icons that the card is asking for, you can play it. And you must place it on one of the things it's asking for. Done. Now, some extra rules, and then we are done. 1. You must always place a ground card first. Those are these cards that show these icons on the bottom of the card. You can't place any other card first. It must be a ground card. They will always be on the right column of this board. You can have a maximum of 10 cards next to each other here. There is no hand limit, but for here it's 10. As soon as you have a ground card, you can place as many cards on top of it as you like. 2. When you place a landscape, it will always ask for at least this icon. You can also see that icon on your little boards, these ones. If you want to place a landscape, you have to have one of these boards. Flip it over to indicate that it's spent, and then place the card above it. Sometimes the landscape card asks for more than just this, and that works exactly the same as the rest. See if you have it. If you have it, you can play the card. And you have these cards as well. They go on top of your landscape. This one is asking for a landscape and this icon. I already have the landscape. As soon as I have this icon in my area, I can place it here. 3. If a card shows something you have to pay and it has these little arrows next to it, that means you don't place the card on the top of the icon, but next to it. 4. If a card is asking for more than one icon, you have an option. If you only have one icon it's asking for but not the other ones, you can choose to discard 2 cards from your hand as a substitute for the icon. You can even discard 4 cards from your hand to substitute as 2 icons. As long as you have at least one icon, you can do this. Discard 2 cards to count as the other icon the card is asking for. And that's it. One last thing, if you look at this board you can see this hourglass. When the round marker steps over it, you have to do something with the cards on this board. Just look it up in the rulebook, it's very simple. So, we're done. This is how you play Meadow. I hope you feel you have a good sense of how it goes and that you'll enjoy it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Feel free to leave a comment and see you for the next one.